Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm an artist and an art teacher, and today I just wanted to do a quick unboxing video of my new Sta-Wet acrylic palette. So what this is a way for you to save your paint while you're using it so that it doesn't get dried out and you don't waste your paint. And this is what I usually use, is just palette paper. It just comes in a pad like this, and you can buy it in the paper section of the art supply store. And it's kind of just like wax paper, and it's attached at both ends of the paper so that it stays in place while you're using it, and it has a really smooth finish so that while you put your paint on here and you can mix it up with your palette knife and your brush. You can use whatever medium that you're using, and it's really easy to blend on here, and then it's disposable. I try to be really judicious with my usage of this type of stuff because I don't like to be wasteful, but it is actually my favorite way to use a palette. And then I also have this palette, which I have tried. It's kind of like a Tupperware for paint. It seals on all four sides. And then you can use the lid as a mixing surface, or just for extra water if you want. And then it has these wells that you can put all of your paint in, maybe a larger well for water, and then your blending surface in the middle. And this is pretty nice too. It does keep your paint wet for longer than using the paper palette, and then you are able to seal it up. It has like a rubber seal in here, so it does seal pretty tightly. And usually if I do use this, what I'll do before I close it up is I'll just kind of spritz a little water in there to keep everything humid so that the paint stays damp for longer. And I do like this. This is a good palette. I just like a larger working surface, and I tend to get messy. And then it is a little bit tougher to clean. As you can see, you can't always get all of the paint out that you want, but it is a good palette. And I don't know, I can't remember who the maker is. I want to say Art Advantage, but I'm not sure. So that's a good option, but I've seen people use these Sta-Wet palettes, and everyone that I've talked to swears by them. So basically what it is, it's kind of the same idea. It's like a Tupperware for your paint, but and it's a combination of the two other ones. It's like a Tupperware because it has a lid, and it does use palette paper on the inside of this, but it has a very special feature. So let's check it out. Here, do this. And I got this yesterday at Jerry's Artarama, which there is a location here in Tempe closer to ASU, which I had never been to before, but I had a lot of people say that I should go. And I was like a kid in a candy store. If you've never been to Jerry's Artarama, you should go. None of this is paid or sponsored, by the way. I'm just kind of geeky about this stuff. Okay, and then the other things I got while I was there are, I've been looking for a really bright pink. And for some reason, it's really hard to find a bright pink acrylic. So this is actually acrylic gouache, and it's more liquid. This is the Liquitex, and it's fluorescent opera pink. And then I found this one. This is a little bit thicker, and this is also acrylic gouache, and it's Turner. And this one is called Lumi Rose, and it's also fluorescent. And this is what these look like. I did a little test. It's really hard to get the colors to come out. This is the Turner, and this is the Liquitex. The colors don't translate as well in video or on camera as they do in real life, but if you're looking for a bright pink and you're not finding it in regular acrylic, give these a try because they're super bright and I just love them. I can't wait to try them, and hopefully they'll mix well with acrylic. I'm not sure. We're just going to see how that goes. So here's our palette. Looks like we have some instructions. And all right, so the lid does fit pretty snugly, which I was worried about. There's some posts on the inside of the lid, which I think you have to line up in order to get it to close all the way. Here's the instructions here. And here is, it comes with these, these are basically little food cups, but you can, if you've got extra paint you want to use these for, you can do that. And then there's another one that I think is for solvent. So here's your palette paper, and it's the same, it's a real smooth finish like a wax paper, but here's the trick to this palette. This is a cellulose sponge, kind of like a really, really big flat SpongeBob. And you soak this in water, put it in the bottom of your palette, and then you put a piece of palette paper over the top of that. You put your paint on top of that, and as you're using your paint, the moisture in the environment keeps your paint from drying out. And then when you're done painting, you can just put your lid back on, and it preserves your paint for you, which is a big deal if you're spending money on high quality acrylic paint. It's not cheap, and you hate wasting it. Like right here, I've got this big blob of blue that I didn't use, and it just kills me. I have in the past, when I was doing a lot of work on my palette paper and in the middle of a painting project, what I would do, like if I had to go make dinner or whatever and I wanted to come back to it, is if I had wet paint on my palette paper, I would just spray it with my water bottle, just like give it a light spray, and then just lightly put some plastic wrap over the top of it. And that's actually a really good, inexpensive way to preserve your paint for a short period of time, but it doesn't work for too long. It'll get dried out after a couple of days, but if you're just going back later that day or maybe the next morning, it works fine. But so anyways, this palette was around $20 at Jerry's, and if you sign up for whatever their program is, you get an extra 10% off. So anyways, I've been painting long enough to where I'm tired of struggling with all the sort of quick fixes, and I'm ready to sort of step up to something a little bit better. And this is my next painting that I'll be working on. It's 36 by 36, I think, maybe a little bit smaller. And it's 2 mushrooms, and the background is going to have an isometric grid that I am going to collage with pages from this book. This was one of my childhood favorites, and it was actually my mom's one from when my mom was little. And I actually have our family book that I did not cut up for this project. I ordered an extra, a used one online from a used bookstore. But these are cool books. It's a really cool little series called The Dandelion Library, and they're 2-sided. So this one is Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland, and they're both 2 of my all-time favorite classic stories. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you next time.